Hi everyone, this is my 40 questions tag which Mike of Allotment UK, lovely chappy, decided to tag me into this, so thanks Mike. So without further ado, I'm going to go through the 40 questions. I hope I've got them all right. So anyway, first question. Blue cheese. Well, I'm partial to a bit of cheese, and blue cheese is one of my favourites. So yes, I do like a nice slice of blue cheese. But the problem is with me, I tend to eat cheese at silly times of night. Normally around about 11:30. Yes, I know that's bad for you, but I have the munchies, and instead of going to chocolate, I go for savouries. Cheese on Rivita biscuits and all that type of thing with a bit of ham and whatever. So anyway, that's blue cheese sorted. Coke or Pepsi? Not really into Coke or Pepsi, although I have, if I tend to go to one side, I'll have a cherry Coke or something like that, but it's very rare. I know Mike talks about when he was younger, and he did the trick, he put the penny in a jar of Coke. We did the similar thing actually, and I've got to feel it was either in the chemistry or it could have been in the biology. I don't know. It might have been the chemistry one. But we put a tuff in a glass of Coke. Oh my word! Where did the tuff go overnight? So you are quite right, Mike. What does it do to your stomach? But it does tell you one thing: what's in your stomach. Am I in a relationship? Unfortunately, not. Technically, I'm still married. And in 2014 myself and my wife decided to part company. We're still best of friends, not a problem, but that was 2014. We married since 1998, been together since 1990, so it was quite a few years, but so I'm not in a relationship. Tipple, whiskey, tequila or vodka? Don't touch any of them. Not a top row person at all. I do like, and you've probably seen it before, I do like my cider, Strongbow, but other varieties are readily available. But I'm so lucky in as much as I have a lovely real ale pub, Victorian Real Ale pub, just down the bottom of my road. So I do like real ale as well. Unfortunately, obviously they're closed down at the moment, and the real ale pub that I go to is Marpardo's, or the Old Swan in Netherton, Dudley, which is in the Black Country in the West Midlands, and it's a real proper old-fashioned pub. So if you're ever in the area, please visit. No fruit machines, no music, a proper old-fashioned pub. Do some brilliant meals, do cobs, but do some great meals as well. So if you're in the area, well worth a visit. And Tim, the gaffer, he dresses up in the regalia of the Victorian era, so it's well worth just popping in and saying hello. Hot dog or cheeseburger? Well, if I'm out, it's hot dogs. Cheeseburgers, I tend to find them not as nice, unless you go to a really posh restaurant or something. But I do make a mean cheeseburger at home because my daughter's told me so, and she's actually texted me while she's been in Aberystwyth University recently and said, how do you make your cheeseburgers? Because I actually put the cheese inside the meat, make the patties and then cook them. And she doesn't like cheeseburgers, but she's like the ones I make. Favourite food? Oh, no, there's a difficult one. I love food anyway, so what's my favourite? I do like a Sunday roast, I've got to admit. I do like a Sunday roast, so I'm going to stick with that. Sunday roast. What's your first drink of the day? Bottle of vodka. No, I said I didn't drink any of that stuff. No, cup of tea. When my daughter stops over, it's a cup of tea. A cup of tea, as we say around here. So it's a cup of tea. When she's not around, to be perfectly honest, it's a cup of coffee. Don't drink lots of coffee during the day, and because of the situation at the moment, I'm working from home, so I'm actually drinking less coffee and tea. I'm drinking more water, although I do that at work. I think Terry King, he's done the same as this, and he said that he drinks a lot of water during the day, and so do I, especially in the office. It's a good 2-3 litres of water during the day. I think then he went on to how many push-ups? None. I was, when I was younger, a very avid sports person. I was never picked for the football team at school because I was just too small. But I did go and play at Stourbridge football club doing cricket training and such, and I played tennis for my school when they first started doing tennis tournaments and that. Me and a friend, Craig, and so I represented my school at tennis up to about the age of. Well, I was doing tennis up to about the age of 19, all self-taught. Wasn't too bad actually. When I went to university, I did start doing the footballing on a Wednesday afternoon, the proper football training. Oh my word, 2 hours of solid, yeah. So push-up wise, I've not really done it, and I wouldn't be able to do one now. How old am I? I'm 21 tomorrow. Yeah, right. I'm actually 51. I was 51 on September the 15th this year, back on Britain Day. So yes, I'm 51. But of course I look like I'm 21. Stop it. Favourite season? Now this was a difficult one because it's a little bit different. Because if I go away on holiday, which is very rare, if I go away on holiday, I'm not a beach person. I don't like heat. I like to visit places and go and visit the actual place and look at places around there, you know, like castles and all that type of thing. So seasonal wise, this year I've enjoyed the summer because of lockdown, which sounds terrible, but I've spent a lot of time down my allotment, so the weather that we've had has been really, really nice. And so I'd say spring going into summer, because spring's a lovely season as well, because things are starting to grow. So it's an in-betweener. It's between spring and summer for me. So yeah. Hobbies. Oh, God blimey. What I'll say is, when I was younger, I spent a lot of time with my father doing, like Mike did, model making, wargaming, Napoleonic mainly, with my father. But one of my best friends at the time, I'll say best friend at the time because unfortunately he passed away when I was about 15. But we used to do wargaming, World War II wargaming, all the airfix models and all that. We used to go and buy 8 Panzer tanks and make them all, and we used to use them in wargaming. We had all the instructions, all the books and everything, and we used to painstakingly paint all of the figures, put them on cardboard, label them all up with the different ranks and all the rest of it. So we were really heavily into it. And I've still got all of those in my mum and dad's loft. They're probably worth a bit now, and I've also got 15mm lead soldiers that me and my dad used to use in the Napoleonic era, and I was in charge of the Irish, the Green Rifleman, AK Sharp, etc. So yeah, I had that as hobbies in those days. Fishing as well I used to do, and I still do that now. I've restarted doing fishing competitively as well as just as a hobby. Music's been a big part of my life since the age of 9, which was a hobby. Still is a hobby, massive hobby, but it's the last 20 odd years it's become a secondary job, so to speak. But I've always told myself it's a hobby, because if you lose that, to me, if you lose that aspect of it being a hobby and becoming a job, sometimes it gets very mundane. But yeah, that's hobby wise, music, that type of thing. Tattoos now. I won't go into that. Tattoos I don't like. I know it sounds really bad, but I don't necessarily like them. I'd never have one myself, but that's just my own personal opinion. Doesn't mean to say I wouldn't like anybody with a tattoo before you say anything, but it's just not my scene. Do I wear glasses? No. Although I have regular visual display unit checks, because I use a visual display unit, video, TV screen, monitor, etc. at work all the time. We have to have our eyes checked every 3 years, but I actually haven't checked every year. A couple of years ago they did say that I probably needed some glasses for long distance. Is it long distance or short distance? I can see long, yes, so I've got long vision, so I can see far away. I'm starting to do this now, and some of you out there will probably understand where I'm coming from on that. I noticed it when I was reading music. It's not really bad, it's not very, very bad. It's only like 0.06, something ridiculous in one of the eyes. And they said there's nothing to worry about, but obviously just keep getting it checked. So theoretically I suppose I should have those, but I just haven't bothered. Might be next year when all this pandemic's finished. Any phobias? Now this will surprise you. I have actually got 2 phobias. Touch wood, I don't meet these 2 particular animals. One, snakes. And sharks. If a wildlife program comes on TV and it's to do with sharks, whoa! I've got a feeling it's something that happened to me many years ago. I think somebody showed me a pirate copy. If you remember in the 80s when they used to do all the pirate copies of VHS tapes and Betamax tapes, and I think I watched a bit of Jaws and knew. I do go swimming, which we'll come on to later, but I do have a phobia in even swimming baths that a shark is following me. Even if I have a shower, I can't cover my face because I get a phobia because of my breathing. Because I've got respiratory, believe it or not, even though I play the trumpet, I've got actually respiratory illness. Hence why I play the trumpet, because it's helped my lungs. But yes, I don't know why, but at least I'm not going to meet, well, might be meet a snake, but I'm certainly not going to meet a shark. Unless you chuck me in one of them cages and throw me in the middle of the barrier reef or something, but you wouldn't get me in there, no way. Right, nicknames now there. Right, I've got 2 nicknames really. I suppose the one is really school, and nobody calls me this anymore. But when I was at school, like I said, I was very small, and they used to call me Boney M because my name's Mark, and I was quite skinny. And so they used to call me Boney M after the group, Boney M. So all the way through school, as in secondary school, I was known as Boney M. And my nickname now is Jacko, hence why the name of the channel is Jacko's Allotment. They just call my surname's Jackson, so they just call me Jacko. Which, to be perfectly honest, all my family, my dad's family and that, they've always been, a lot of them have been called Jacko and that. So I don't mind. It's a lovely, it's a nickname. If you know you're okay with people if they've given you a nickname. Favourite sweet? Don't eat sweets, he says after eating a lump of chocolate last night. Don't tend to eat sweets. If I go out and I've had a meal, I don't tend to have a sweet. If I am going to have a sweet, I'll have a chocolate fudge cake, and it's got to be slightly warm. I can't have it cold. It's got to be slightly warm when the chocolate just oozes. Okay, and that's it. Do I believe in ghosts? No. Here's a little story for you. Don't believe in ghosts. Now this is really going to be weird. I don't believe in ghosts. However, I have a little friend, a little boy that I have seen. And this is where it gets really weird. I still don't believe, but I have seen a little friend, a little boy at the bottom of the bed on numerous occasions for the last 20 odd years, and it's normally he's normally trying to tell me something, and actually, believe it or not, the next day something has happened, and actually can even, if I could, I'd get my ex-wife on and she would actually vouch me on that. We've had some good looks on the Fridays and some pretty horrendous news on Fridays, but she always knew that something was going to happen the next day, and it did. Ooh. But technically, well, theoretically, I don't believe in ghosts, but anyway, make your own mind up on that one. Do I have a downside? I'm going to be brutally honest here. Yeah, I do. I can be quite pedantic. Not argumentative, but quite. I like to have debates, shall we say. I am a trade union representative. I'm a branch secretary for 400 members, so I have to represent them in the best possible way I can. So my downside, I suppose, is that I do like debating things, and people sometimes just don't really want to debate it, and I suppose sometimes I can come across as a know-it-all. I don't mean it. I don't know a lot of things, but unfortunately I'm pretty clued up on a lot of things, so I do a lot of reading. So, and I'm being honest there, that probably is my downside. Rain or snow? Good one. Which one do I prefer? Rain, because it means I don't have to walk up and down this blooming allotment in the summer. watering everything. Snow just gets everywhere. It just slush, and it gets to slush, and it's just horrible. And you get your car stuck everywhere, and then whatever. I suppose when I was young, I loved snow. When we used to have proper winters. Kids of today, they don't know what a proper winter or is, should I say? But yeah, any piercings, no. French fries or onion rings? French fries any day. Don't like onion rings really, and it's because a lot of the people that make onion rings don't know how to make them. You bite into them, the whole of the onion just slides out, so you got left with a bloody onion ring with just the batter. French fries all day, and Mike, you are right. They are Belgian fries actually. They were actually made in Belgium, and when I used to go on tour abroad with the band, the big band I was in. We used to love going and ordering frites, and they were totally different. And you always used to have mayonnaise with them. So now I have mayonnaise. I have tomato sauce as well, but mayonnaise. We can have a combination of the two, and they were gorgeous. And I remember stopping in. We were passing through Belgium. We were actually doing a gig in Antwerp and that, and we just gorged on Belgian fries, frites, with a massive tub of mayonnaise. Any children? I have one. A lovely daughter, 19 years old, studying in Aberystwyth University, doing English literature and creative writing. Second year, not very good at the moment with all this COVID, but she's doing really, really well. So proud of her. She's surpassed me on educational wise, but she's absolutely superb, and she's my little angel. Favourite colour? Claret and blue. It's got to be claret and blue. Now, for you overseas, you're thinking, why claret and blue? Claret and blue is the colours of my football team, Aston Villa. Someone's got to support them. Can I sing? Not really, but I have to on stage when I'm doing gigs, depending on what they are. If I'm doing function bands, soul bands at that, I have to do a bit of singing. I'm not going to sing on this. Do not even ask or go there. I'll get the trumpet out, but I'm not singing. Can I whistle? Yes, I can whistle. Any siblings? Nope. I'm an only child. No, it's lovely actually being an only child. Can I cook? Yes, I can. Simple as that. I've always cooked. I cooked when I was at school. I had the little hamper basket, and the kids used to take the mickey out of me in secondary school when I did home economics. But they didn't at the end of the day when they wanted the food that I'd made inside of it, did they? No. So yes, I can cook, and I always have done. Can I swim? Well, I mentioned that earlier, didn't I? Just dropped my pen. So yes, I can swim, and I'm a pretty good swimmer. Am I religious? No. Bath or shower? Neither. No, sorry. Shower any day. It'd take me half an hour to fill my bath up because I've got an old cast iron bath, and I live in an old terraced house. It wasn't there since 1908. It's a newer bath than that, but it's a proper enamelled bath. It was in there when I moved in '97, so shower every day. I shower every day anyway. I have to wash the 3 strands of hair I've got left. Prefer big city or countryside? Or big cities, obviously, when I'm doing gigs is wonderful. London, Edinburgh, wherever, Birmingham, Liverpool. But no, I could never live there. Countryside any day, or town, shall we say. I'm a good friend. I think I am a really good friend. Anybody that needs something, I will do it. I've been picking a work colleague up since day one of lockdown because he was allowed to go into the workplace. I wasn't because of blinding conditions. I used to pick him up at 4 o'clock outside work and take him home, which is Sedgley, which is about 2 buses from here. And because of all of the lockdown, etc., he's finding it very difficult to get home. So I've been taking him back every single day since. Broken any bones? No. How many TVs? I've got one downstairs that never gets used. I've got one upstairs in my bedroom, and there's one in my daughter's room. Worst pain experienced? When I have a rheumatoid arthritis flare up in my knees. I cannot walk, I cannot get out of bed, I cannot sleep. It's excruciating pain. If anybody suffers with it, my heart goes out to you. It's terrible. and I think Mike touched on it about no, not Mike, sorry, Terry touched on it. No, Mike did touch on it. He did, and Terry has. Mike touched on it. The worst experience mentally. Mine was this year. I lost my best friend and my late father to, unfortunately, COVID-19 on the 17th of April at 2 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, do a dance, only on stage. I have done disco dancing kind of thing, but which dance do you do? What do they tell me to do on stage? Do I like camping? Yes, I love camping. I used to be in the Scouts as well. And my mother and father used to say to me, we used to get you on the van, and you knew when you say goodbye, you just wanted to go. That's just me. Would it be considered I'm weird? You tell me. I can be weird. I can make some weird noises. I like to have a laugh. So yeah, I suppose in a way I am. But isn't everybody? Don't we have to be weird every now and again, especially at the moment? Then we come on to name 6 more victims. Victims? Oh, that's lovely that was, Mike. Well, I don't really know who to put down, because I've been looking through and seeing who's already been tagged. But Muddybootz, Mick Poultney's only up the road. He's gonna kill me. Big Dave Dig, Erica's Little Welsh Garden, Dave's Allotment, and the other one is Jessie's at plot 37, and she's a lovely young lady. If nobody's subscribed to her channel, down south, and she's only started the blog because of lockdown, and she's recently just come out of lockdown because bless her mother contracted COVID. So unfortunately she was in lockdown, and she said the lockdown finished on the Sunday, so she was looking forward to a nice fresh cold cider. I take it in her local pub or whatever, or restaurant. On the Sunday when she could come out of lockdown, but unfortunately, lockdown on self-isolation. So, but unfortunately, the Thursday beforehand, we all went back to lockdown. So she couldn't even do that. So if you do, go to her blog. It's brilliant. It's lovely. She's a lovely young lady. She's got some great stuff. She's got a website as well, and she does some cooking recipes as well as other things. Just downright, it's brilliant. And she does a blog once a week, and it's the week what she's done. And she's a sculptor, so she's into what actually I graduated in, because I graduated in car design, engineering, and graphic design. Don't use it because I'm a civil servant, but hey ho. Anyway, this is nearly 23 and a half minutes long. I didn't want it to be this long, but I've answered the 40 questions as required. I hope I give you a little bit of insight into who I am, what I do, and there will be more shorter videos. Please look after one another. Please stay safe. We'll get through this together, and see you on the other side. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Thumbs up. And to everybody out there, like I said, keep safe. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.